And lo, we're reading from Believe by Desmond Tutu. We're getting into his life, the beginning of the book. It's a little book, but a lot of information in it. Yet, when he matriculated, Tutu's thoughts were toward practicing medicine rather than the ministry. As it happened, he did neither, becoming like his father before him, a teacher, one who inspired his classes with his energy, sense of humor, and enthusiasm for living. Discipline was never a problem. His pupils adored him because he treated them gently and humanely, two attributes that would resonate throughout his life. Thus, even in the junior teacher could be seen the attitude of the future prelate and leader who would face the most dangerous of standoffs with a quiet courage that was sure to diffuse the situation. The school where Tutu taught was situated in a rough part of the township. Sotsi, gangsters, ruled the streets with knives and guns. When a group of thugs came to the school literally hunting for girls, the headmaster, the teachers, and the pupils panicked, barricading themselves in the classrooms. Tutu, however, would have none of it. He went out to reproach the gangsters. Soon he was joking with them, and as tensions evaporated, the thugs put away their guns and sauntered off. It was the first of many such incidents in the life of Desmond Tutu. Tutu's teaching career came to an end with the implementation of the Bantu Education Act in 1955 by the apartheid government. The tenor and practice of this act was to downgrade the syllabus for black schoolchildren in preparation for a life manual and menial labor. Tutu, who valued education and knowledge as a means toward freedom and independence, could not be party to such a system. He and Leah, a schoolteacher wife of the year, his schoolteacher wife of a year, resigned their posts. Tutu's thoughts now turned toward ministry. However, it was a consideration not taken lightly. His father, some of his friends, and even some of his pupils felt that he was wasting his talents. But the man himself was convinced. He later referred to his decision as God grabbing me by the scruff of my neck. By 1960, Tutu had completed his studies and was ordained a deacon. By the following year, he became a priest. Nothing delighted him more in his new duties than visiting his parishioners, taking communion to the sick and aged, dropping in on the lonely and the destitute. You can't love people and not visit them, he told the biographer. You can't love them unless you know them, and you can't know them unless you visit them regularly. A good shepherd knows his sheep by name. But once again, the life of the ardent pastor was disrupted when he was invited to study for a Bachelor of Divinity at King's College, London. Tutu would end up spending the next 5 years in England completing 2 degrees, a bachelor's and a master's. He also worked as a curate throughout his stay. I guess it should be curator. Finishing his last 11 months in the parish of Bletchingley, a community of landed gentry and farm workers. To all of them, black skin was a rarity, but Tutu brought to the parish such wit and vitality that villagers took him and his family into their hearts. If his years in England freed him from the yoke of apartheid, they also showed him how that yoke could oppress. The most horrible aspects of apartheid, a blasphemous aspect, is it can make a child of God doubt that they are a child of God. When you ask yourself in the middle of the night, God, am I your stepchild? The time of freedom ended and reluctantly the family returned to South Africa, Tutu taking up a teaching position at the Theological Seminary and Alice in the Eastern Cape. He was also chaplain of the nearby University of Fort Hare, the academic alma mater of so many of the country's political leaders, including Nelson Mandela. And it was here that Tutu, for the first time, stepped onto the political battlefield. By then, late in 1968, a new movement known as Black Consciousness, a call for Black people to realize their self worth, was rekindling opposition to apartheid. After the Sharpeville massacre in 1960, where police shot dead at least 69 people, and the capture and incarceration on Robben Island of many of the Black leaders, opposition had been silenced. But now the first stirrings of renewed resistance were being heard, particularly at the University of Fort Hare. When people in armored cars arrived on campus to suppress a demonstration, Tutu hurried over from the seminary to ensure there were no arrests or violent incidents. The police tried to stop him, but he thrust through their ranks to side with the students. If you are arresting the students, you can count me as their chaplain with them, he retorted. So, you see how Desmond Tutu's working. I'm telling you, school boards are really something else. Schools are the front lines of the battle of the war for humanity, because that's where you learn. And these systems protect their school systems with the strength you wouldn't believe, because they have to keep you thoughtless instead of thoughtful. But with all the tools we have, I can't understand how we're still allowing that to happen. But we are. Maybe in 2020, now that there is no ritual around getting up, going to the actual school building, maybe we can start to open our eyes and learn more and develop our mind more and expand our minds more. Anyway, I thank you for your support. Pass it around, tell friends about it. Until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and be safe.